ADOS is everywhere. Cut the check.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your host, Bill Money, and welcome to Dirty Laundry Media. First time checking in, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on this video, and feel free to check out any other content on my channel. Here to drop off a quick video, and what I'm going to show you in a moment is an old clip about a year ago, and this was an episode with Harvey Levin of TMZ and Kanye West. They were sitting down for an interview, and during the beginning of the interview, Harvey Levin, for some reason, thought that he could get Kanye to take off his MAGA hat. Kanye objected, as he should have, and just basically proceeded to school Harvey Levin on the fact that, first of all, he has the right to free speech, and he has the absolute right to wear that hat, no matter how offensive Harvey Levin may find it. So yeah, Kanye West stood up to him. And the reason I'm really reaching back for this, when I saw this clip, I immediately related that to what's going on with Ice Cube. And, because Kanye made it a point to say, regarding the hat, is basically a symbol to everyone and anyone who tries to police his thought and his actions, that he cannot be bullied. And that was the basic gist of his whole stance, was he would not be bullied. And we know that the media over the last several years, sometimes rightfully so, has targeted Kanye. But in this instance, regarding his political preferences or his political allegiances, was particularly brought into question when he showed support for Donald Trump. And immediately the liberal media, the gatekeepers, the attack dogs, as well as a good portion of the general public, found fault with Kanye and basically tried to attack his mental health as the reason for him expressing these political views that aren't in lockstep with the liberal left. Regarding Harvey Levin, I just found that it was pretty audacious for him. He may have found it funny, but it was pretty audacious, and you'll see the look on Kanye's face when he asked him to remove the hat. And the reason being that it would make him and everyone else feel better. And Harvey Levin is middle-aged, a little further past middle-aged. I believe he was born in 1950. So that would make him around 70. So yeah, he's up in age at this point, but he was raised in Los Angeles, California. He was born to a Jewish family. Harvey Levin, I believe he attended the University of California, UC Santa Barbara. He also attended the University of Chicago Law School and practiced law for a number of years in the state of California. Over 20 years he practiced law. So he comes from a well-to-do family. He was educated at the best liberal institutions that land has to offer, and that is money could buy. And his white privilege really showed when he thought that it was appropriate for him to ask another man to remove a hat to make him feel better. It's totally unacceptable in my book, and I stand with Kanye in that regard, that it's just a day and time when black men are definitely tired of being bullied. We're tired of being ignored. We're tired of being dismissed, demonized, and we're tired of being destroyed. And relating this to the current issue with Ice Cube, and salute to Ice Cube for not, succumbing to the pressure. I dropped a video about this last week. You can check that out on my channel as well, in which I explained, I dropped a couple of videos in which I basically explained, how Ice Cube in this situation was correct in his approach. I believe his intentions were also in the right place, and I believe he was unfairly targeted for attack by the liberal left, because what they're doing now is they're doing everything and anything to help Joe Biden win this election. They also have the help of social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter, which have made it a point and a practice to censor and strike down any information that's posted on their site that knocks any sort of dent into the liberal left's political aspirations on November the 3rd. So, yeah, the bullying is really knowing no end right now. So, again, salute to Ice Cube, stand strong. He has linked up with ADOS Los Angeles. For those that don't know what ADOS is, that's the American descendants of slavery. And he has taken some suggestions from Antonio Moore, also known as Tone Talks, in which he said that he will take a look at some of ADOS's agenda and implement those into the contract with Black America. So we're still waiting on the outcome of that, and we're hopeful. We're behind Ice Cube 100%. And as Ice Cube is making the rounds over the last couple of months, he's definitely been moving in a way that is balanced. And he might not have advanced degrees in political science or communications or whatever the case may be, but he's very articulate in his own way, in a very straightforward way, and that's what matters the most. So go ahead and check out this video. I'll come back after the clip with some more commentary.
Yes, I would love it, Kanye, if you would not wear that hat. It would make me and a lot of other people feel better. In fact, why don't we say, please take off the hat, Kanye? How's that?
It's not good.
Then I won't do it. Because you have a right to wear it.
Exactly. First Amendment, baby. First Amendment. As an American, I support our president. Bottom line, no matter who they are. As an American, I support our president. Now, I already told you what this represents for me. This represents y'all can't bully me. Y'all can't bully me. You can't tell me what to do, because that's what people used to do. They would snatch your hat off. You have a starter cap, and like a gangbanger come up and try to rip your hat off. And ain't nobody ripping my hat off again. So that's what it represents to me.
So how do y'all feel about that? I'm not gonna lie. I felt them. That's real. And that's on everything, regardless of whatever the situation may be. As a man, you can't tell a man what to do, and that's basically what it's boiling down to. In that situation right there. Excuse me. On the one-to-one level, and then you have, on a group level, You know, you have the thought police, all on social media. Trying to tell you what you need to, or who do you need to line up with. And those days have been long gone, and you know, they're not coming back. You know, not without being at the point of a gun, and you know, things just devolving to that level. But as far as groupthink and thought policing and attempting to use social constraints to whip black men in line, using white supremacist rhetoric, you know, all on Twitter and Facebook, steady demonizing black men for exercising an independent thought politically, and you know, stepping up to the plate for black people as a whole. You know, black people as a whole, black men, black women, black children. And if you're black, doesn't matter what stripe you may fall under. As far as your religion, as far as your sexual preference, as far as your chosen method of expression, whatever it may be. So, you know, we need to stop separating our group. We need to stop pitting the men against the women. We need to stop making separate those who make certain choices as far as their lifestyle, and advocate for the group as a whole. So I believe that's what, you know, some of us are trying to bring about. We're trying to bring about an atmosphere where, you know, we can move politically and socially in whatever circles we may need to move to influence the mechanisms that will in turn provide us the resources that we need to live. But of course, you'll see those who are in position, those who are gatekeepers, using this as an opportunity to show how effective they are at keeping those of us who would think for ourselves in line. But I just don't think it's going to work this time. And regarding Harvey Levin and what I call his paternalism, and in this case, it was disguised as, you know, Harvey urging Kanye to set his agenda aside for the good of everyone else who was present. So he wanted Kanye to deny himself his right to self-expression under the First Amendment, which is his constitutional right, so he could assuage what I presume was a group of white people's feelings. So for me, I definitely relate that to the current climate, because, you know, those of us black men who refuse to support Joe Biden are definitely coming under attack right now. And you know, it really doesn't bother me on a certain level, because this is basically what we become used to. We become used to being made the scapegoat, you know, to everything that ails the black community and to everything that ails the society at large. So, you know, we've been living with this from day one. If you want to take it back to 1619, you know, from the time that we first set foot off of the first slave ship, or ship that contained slaves, the forming of the country, you know, we were always the beast of burden, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And just a quick side note, what really kind of stands out to me in this current equation is the fact that somebody like Ice Cube, who when he was with NWA in the beginning of their rise to fame, they used to tour with Public Enemy, Chuck D, Flavor Flav, Professor Griff. And shout out to Professor Griff. I just caught some of his live on repeat, and he was actually getting into the Ice Cube controversy and pledging his support 1000%. So again, shout out to Professor Griff for lending his voice and lending his support. But again, the odd thing for me is that it's Ice Cube, the gangster rapper, Jerry curl wearing, LA Raiders jacket wearing, Converse wearing, gangster rapper who is basically standing in the middle and not choosing a side and just advocating for black people. Whereas somebody like Chuck D endorsed Bernie Sanders, and I believe he even gave a concert for Bernie Sanders, in which was the source of a falling out between him and Flavor Flav. I think he wanted Flavor Flav to agree to have the name Public Enemy used in an association with an event that was basically a campaign event for Bernie Sanders. And Flavor Flav protested. He didn't want anything to do with it. There was a huge dust up. He tried to kick Flav out the group, which he had to later recant because he can't kick Flav out the group, because apparently Flav is a founding member and he's part of the nucleus of the group. He cannot be expelled. So Chuck D, being somebody who preached that we should listen to someone like Farrakhan, who basically preaches self-determination and an independence of thought movement for black people, you would think that Chuck D would be in the Ice Cube role, but instead it's the other way around. So I find that highly ironic and worthy of mentioning that Chuck D supports Bernie Sanders, socialist Jew who doesn't believe in reparations, acting like he didn't know what reparations were, time and time again. This is who Chuck D supports, while Ice Cube is firmly in the middle and presenting ideas and being courted by both parties. And to me, that's the desired outcome when you're playing the political game. Is you want to put yourself in such an attractive position that the parties will come courting you. Similar to an independent artist, independent rapper. If an independent rapper has the ability to generate a buzz on his own, and he's able to amass a fan base that supports him financially, social media wise as well, if he's able to show that he has a critical mass of support, he never has to go to the record label in order to get a deal. Eventually, what we know is that the record labels will come looking for him. And to me, that's analogous to the effect that we want to have in the political realm. Excuse me. We want to make ourselves so hot in the street. We want the ticket to be so hot that the parties come directly to us, courting us for our votes. And that's the end, of the story for me. So, I'm going to end this one right now, right there. Thanks for tuning in to Dirty Laundry Media. Follow me on Twitter at BillTheIcon. And, check back with me. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload new content. And again, I thank you for tuning in. Signing off, this is Bill Money, Dirty Laundry Media.